They were feared, misunderstood, and often remembered only for blood. But what if I told you the Aztecs weren't just warriors of sacrifice? They were artists, engineers, philosophers, builders of one of the most advanced civilizations the world has ever seen. When we hear Aztecs, many picture towering temples drenched in crimson, hearts lifted to the sun. Yes, human sacrifice was part of their rituals. But the full story? It's far more complex. Sacrifices were deeply rooted in their spirituality. The Aztecs believed they were keeping the universe in balance, offering life to ensure the sun would rise, the rains would fall, and the earth would continue. But there's something modern tales often miss. This wasn't a culture obsessed with death. It was a civilization that celebrated life in some of the most extraordinary ways imaginable. Imagine a floating city. Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital, was a marvel. Built on a lake, connected by massive causeways, its markets teeming with goods, its streets clean and organized. They created chinampas, floating gardens so efficient they could feed hundreds of thousands. These weren't primitive people. They were agricultural masterminds. Their grasp of astronomy and mathematics rivaled that of the Greeks and Egyptians. They predicted eclipses. They designed calendars more accurate than Europe's at the time. And their engineering? From aqueducts to drainage systems, the Aztecs tamed a watery world with brilliance. But if the city was their canvas, art was the soul they painted upon it. Their art was more than beauty. It was a language. Sculptures of gods told stories of creation. Murals whispered of heroes, battles, dreams. Even their clothing, stitched with quetzal feathers and gold, spoke of rank, reverence, and pride. Behind the scenes, the Aztecs ran a complex society. They had laws, judges, even appeal systems. At the top stood the Tlatoani, the great speaker, who ruled over a network of city-states with diplomacy as much as with might. Children were educated not just in war, but in ethics, history, and poetry. This was a world built on order, intellect, and spiritual depth. The Spanish conquest tried to erase them, but the Aztecs never vanished. Their blood runs through Mexico. Their influence echoes in art, in architecture, in language, even in cuisine. So the next time you hear Aztec, don't just think of sacrifice, think of a civilization that reached for the stars and touched them. If this story opened your eyes, give it a like, share it with a fellow history lover, and hit subscribe for more untold stories of our ancient past. Until next time, stay curious.